In this video, I'm going to show you the hidden reason your memory is failing, and more importantly, how you can start fixing it tonight. Most people think memory loss just comes with age, but that's not entirely true. What if I told you that your brain fog, your short-term memory lapses, that fuzzy feeling in your head, all have a common root cause you can actually reverse? Stay with me until the end, because I'll explain not only why your memory might be getting worse, but also how to start restoring it naturally. And I'll even tell you about a simple 7-second ritual you can do from home that may help you recover the memory you had when you were 20 again. I'll leave that video link below in the description and in the first pinned comment. Our channel exists to help people understand what's really happening inside the brain, from early signs of dementia to simple ways to clear brain fog instantly, so you can take control of your mind, your focus, and your memory before it's too late. Let's begin with something most people don't realize. Memory loss doesn't start the day you forget where your keys are. It begins silently, years before that. Your brain cells start losing energy, your neurons struggle to communicate, and toxins or inflammation slowly create the perfect environment for memory decline. That's when you might start feeling a lack of focus, occasional amnesia-like moments, or even what doctors call short-term memory lapses. Recent research shows that over 40% of adults over 50 report some form of mild cognitive decline. Conditions like Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, and Lewy body dementia often begin with very subtle brain fog symptoms. A foggy head, a fuzzy brain, that sense you're not as sharp as you used to be. These are not random, they are warning signs. And here's something crucial. Most people ignore these early signs of dementia because they seem harmless. Oh, I just forgot where I parked, or maybe I didn't sleep well. But that lack of sleep, that stress, those poor food choices, they all add up. Chronic sleep deprivation, for example, is one of the leading causes of brain fog. Studies link lack of sleep to reduced blood flow in memory-related areas like the hippocampus. That means every restless night isn't just making you tired, it's literally starving your brain of oxygen and nutrients. If you've been feeling that mental cloud, struggling to remember names, or rereading the same paragraph over and over, you're not alone. It doesn't necessarily mean you have Alzheimer's or dementia, but it's a sign your brain is asking for help. Let's talk about the first hidden reason your memory might be fading: inflammation in the brain. Scientists now understand that brain inflammation caused by poor diet, chronic stress, toxins, or even high blood sugar is one of the main triggers behind memory loss diseases like Alzheimer's and frontotemporal dementia. When inflammation hits, your brain's communication network slows down. Messages between neurons get stuck, creating that foggy mind symptom so many people describe. Think of it like this. Your brain is a beautiful city of lights. Each neuron is a light bulb connected by wires, but inflammation is like dust covering those bulbs. The more dust, the dimmer the city becomes. Suddenly, you can't find your way. You forget names. You lose your train of thought mid-conversation. So, how do you clear that dust? One powerful way is by improving your diet. Avoid processed foods high in sugar and refined oils. Sugar spikes your insulin, which increases inflammation and speeds up brain aging. Instead, focus on anti-inflammatory foods: salmon, walnuts, leafy greens, blueberries, turmeric. These foods provide omega-3s, antioxidants, and nutrients that help cool down the brain and protect your neurons. If you're wondering whether these changes really work, consider this. Studies have shown that people following anti-inflammatory diets, such as the Mediterranean or MIND diet, experience slower cognitive decline and even improvement in memory tests. This isn't just theory, it's brain science in action. But here's something even more fascinating. Inflammation can also come from emotional stress. When you're constantly anxious, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that, in high amounts, literally shrinks the memory center of your brain. That's why during stressful periods, you might feel like your memory just shuts off. Try this. Tonight before bed, take 2 minutes to breathe deeply, slowly. Focus only on your breath. This simple act reduces cortisol and increases oxygen flow to your brain. It might sound small, but it's one of the quickest ways to start clearing brain fog instantly. And if you want to go deeper, I've left a video below that shows you a 7-second ritual you can do from home. It's designed to help reactivate your memory circuits naturally and bring back the mental clarity you had at 20. The next hidden cause of memory loss is one you might not expect: a lack of brain fuel. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy, but when it doesn't get enough of the right nutrients, like omega-3s, B vitamins, and magnesium, your neurons struggle to function. This can lead to symptoms like brain fog, poor focus, or even retrograde memory loss, where you have trouble recalling past events. Imagine trying to run a car with dirty fuel. It might start, but it sputters, stalls, and loses power. That's your brain without proper nourishment. Even mild deficiencies like low vitamin B12 have been linked to memory loss and confusion. So if you're eating fast food, skipping breakfast, or relying on caffeine to get through the day, your brain is running on empty. Instead, start your morning with a brain-boosting meal: eggs, avocado, chia seeds, and green tea. These foods stabilize blood sugar and feed your neurons the energy they crave. As you can see, the real reason your memory may be failing isn't just getting older. It's the accumulation of small habits: inflammation, stress, poor diet, lack of sleep, that together create what many call mental fog. The good news? You can reverse it. You can feel clear again. Before we move to the next part, where I'll reveal 2 more hidden reasons your memory might be fading and how to fix them, remember, small daily changes can bring big transformations. And if you want to take a deeper step into restoring your memory from home, I'll leave a link below to that 7-second ritual that's already helping thousands of people clear brain fog and regain mental sharpness. Now that you understand how inflammation and lack of brain fuel can silently sabotage your memory, let's uncover another powerful and often overlooked cause of memory loss: poor circulation to the brain. Most people think memory problems are purely mental, but your brain is a physical organ that depends entirely on a constant flow of oxygen-rich blood. Every second, millions of brain cells rely on this circulation to receive nutrients, oxygen, and glucose, their primary energy source. When that blood flow slows down, your brain literally starts running out of fuel. That's one of the key reasons behind vascular dementia, a condition that often begins when blood vessels in the brain become narrow or blocked. But you don't need to have dementia for poor circulation to impact you. Even mild reduction in brain blood flow can lead to symptoms like forgetfulness, brain fog, lack of focus, and that sluggish mental feeling that makes you reread the same sentence 3 times. You've probably experienced moments like this. You walk into a room and forget why you went there, or you try to recall a word that's on the tip of your tongue but just won't come out. Those lapses aren't random. They're a sign that your neurons are not getting enough oxygen at that moment. What's amazing is how simple the solution can be. Physical activity and even gentle movement like walking increases blood flow to your brain by up to 30%. When you walk briskly for 15 minutes, your brain's oxygen levels rise, your mood improves, and your ability to form new memories strengthens. That's why people who exercise regularly are far less likely to experience memory loss diseases such as Alzheimer's or frontotemporal dementia. If you've been sedentary, don't worry. You don't need to start running marathons. Just stand up every hour, do light stretches, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Even small actions can reawaken dormant circulation pathways in your brain. And remember, movement isn't just about blood flow. It also stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, often called fertilizer for your brain. BDNF helps neurons grow stronger connections and even creates new brain cells. Think of it as the key that keeps your brain youthful, flexible, and capable of learning new things well into your 70s or 80s. But here's where many people get stuck. They try to fix memory problems by forcing themselves to remember harder, when what they really need to do is feed and oxygenate the brain better. You can't think your way out of brain fog. You have to heal your brain out of it. One subtle way to start doing that is through deep, mindful breathing. When you take slow, deep breaths, you're increasing oxygen to the brain while lowering stress hormones. Try it tonight, right before bed. Just 5 deep, conscious breaths can lower cortisol levels and prepare your brain for better memory consolidation during sleep. And speaking of sleep, that's our next major piece of this puzzle. Sleep is not a luxury. It's the time your brain literally cleans itself. During deep sleep, a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid washes through your brain, clearing out waste proteins like beta amyloid, the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. When you deprive yourself of sleep, you're allowing those toxins to accumulate, slowly clouding your brain and impairing your ability to form or recall memories. People who consistently sleep less than 6 hours a night have a much higher risk of both short-term memory loss and long-term conditions like Alzheimer's dementia. And yet, millions of adults still underestimate the power of good sleep. They reach for caffeine in the morning to wake up the brain, but caffeine doesn't clear out toxins. It just masks fatigue. So what can you do tonight? Create a sleep ritual that prepares your brain to recharge. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and avoid heavy meals or alcohol late at night. Replace your scrolling habit with something calming, a warm shower, relaxing music, or even journaling. If you wake up in the morning still feeling foggy, that's a sign your brain didn't get enough deep restorative sleep. Try going to bed just 30 minutes earlier. You'll be surprised how that small shift can dramatically improve clarity and focus. And if you want to know a simple way to clear brain fog instantly and start waking up with sharper memory, I'll leave a video below that explains the 7-second ritual you can do from home to restore mental clarity naturally. Now let's talk about something that surprises most people: toxins and hidden brain stressors. We live surrounded by chemicals in food, cleaning products, plastics, and even the air we breathe. Over time, these toxins can accumulate in your body and pass through the blood-brain barrier, triggering inflammation, oxidative stress, and neuronal damage. Researchers have linked heavy metals like mercury and aluminum, as well as pesticides and artificial sweeteners, to increased risk of dementia and memory loss. But the most dangerous toxin is the one we often ignore: chronic stress. Emotional stress floods your brain with cortisol and adrenaline. In small doses, that's fine. It helps you react quickly. But when stress becomes constant, these hormones literally burn out your hippocampus, the brain's memory center. That's why so many people under stress experience blank moments or that mental foggy mind symptom. You can't always control the stress around you, but you can control your reaction to it. Here's a simple practice. Every morning, before you pick up your phone, take 1 minute to breathe and think of 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude isn't just an emotion. It's a neurological exercise that rewires your brain to focus on the positive and reduces the impact of stress hormones. This may sound small, but these daily habits, sleeping better, moving more, eating clean, and calming your mind, work together to clear the cloud that's been blurring your memory. It's not about curing dementia overnight. It's about slowing it down, preventing it, and giving your brain what it needs to heal. Because memory loss is not just about forgetting, it's about losing connection with who you are. Every memory is a piece of your life, your identity, your relationships. You deserve to keep them. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into 2 more hidden reasons your memory may be fading, including one that most doctors overlook completely, and how you can start reversing it tonight. And remember, if you're serious about getting your focus and mental clarity back, I'll leave the link to that 7-second at-home ritual below that can help you recover the sharp, youthful mind you once had. Now that we've discussed how inflammation, lack of nutrients, poor circulation, and toxins can lead to brain fog and memory loss, let's look at another hidden reason your memory might be failing, one that most people never suspect: imbalanced hormones and neurotransmitters. Your brain is not just a network of neurons, and it's a living chemistry lab. Every thought, every memory, every emotion you feel depends on precise chemical messengers such as dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and cortisol. When those messengers get out of balance, your memory starts to fade, your focus disappears, and you feel mentally drained. One of the most important of these is acetylcholine, often called the memory molecule. It's the neurotransmitter your brain uses to store and retrieve information. People with Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia often show severe depletion of acetylcholine. That's why drugs for Alzheimer's disease treatment, such as Donepezil, aim to boost this neurotransmitter. But here's something few people realize. You can help your brain make more acetylcholine naturally through diet and lifestyle. Foods rich in choline, such as eggs, salmon, chicken, and broccoli, are the building blocks of acetylcholine. So if you've been avoiding eggs out of fear of cholesterol, you might actually be starving your brain of one of its most important nutrients. Add 2 or 3 eggs per week, and you might start noticing subtle improvements in focus and recall. Another key factor is dopamine, your motivation and reward chemical. When dopamine levels are low, your brain feels sluggish, you lose interest, you procrastinate, and your ability to concentrate fades. Chronic stress and lack of sleep both lower dopamine, which explains why you might feel mentally foggy after a stressful week or a few nights of bad rest. The good news: you can naturally boost dopamine production with small daily habits. Exposure to morning sunlight, 20 minutes of exercise, listening to music you love, or simply achieving small goals. Every time you complete something meaningful, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing clarity and motivation. But here's a hormone that most people overlook when talking about memory: insulin. Yes, the same hormone that controls your blood sugar also controls your brain function. The brain needs glucose for fuel, but when you constantly eat sugary foods or refined carbs, your cells become resistant to insulin, and that includes your brain cells. Scientists even refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes because of how strongly insulin resistance affects cognitive decline. This means that when you're eating too many sweets, not only is your waistline affected, your brain is too. The excess sugar leads to inflammation, oxidative stress, and eventually the destruction of neurons. To protect your brain, focus on keeping your blood sugar stable. Choose complex carbs like oats, quinoa, and sweet potatoes instead of processed white flour. Pair them with proteins and healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, and fish. This simple change helps your brain receive a steady flow of energy instead of spikes and crashes that trigger brain fog. Now let's move to another critical yet rarely discussed issue: dehydration. Your brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can shrink brain tissue temporarily. That's why one of the most common but overlooked causes of short-term memory loss and lack of focus is simply not drinking enough water. If you often feel dizzy, tired, or foggy, try drinking a full glass of water before assuming something's wrong. Add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to restore electrolytes. Sometimes clearing your mind starts with something as basic as rehydration, and yet all these physical causes, inflammation, sleep deprivation, toxins, hormones, dehydration, often overlap with something deeper: emotional disconnection and mental overload. Our modern world keeps our brains in constant stimulation. Notifications, noise, endless scrolling, multitasking, all of it keeps your brain in a perpetual on state. This leads to a phenomenon neuroscientists call mental fatigue, which mimics the symptoms of dementia or amnesia. When your brain is constantly interrupted, your hippocampus, the memory center, struggles to transfer short-term memories into long-term storage. That's why, even if you read or hear something important, it just slips away minutes later. So one of the best gifts you can give your brain is silence. Just 10 minutes of stillness a day, without screens, without notifications, helps reset your focus and recharge your neural circuits. This isn't just about relaxation. It's about rebuilding mental clarity. Imagine you're cleaning out a cluttered desk. Once you remove the piles of junk, suddenly you can find everything again. That's what silence does for your mind. To help with this, try digital fasting. Spend the first hour after waking and the last hour before bed without your phone. Replace that time with journaling, gratitude reflection, or simply sitting quietly. Within a few days, you'll notice a calmer, clearer mental state. And remember, if you want to go deeper into reactivating your memory pathways, I've left a link below with a short video showing a 7-second ritual you can do from home. A simple method that may help clear brain fog instantly and restore the sharpness you thought was gone forever. Before we move to the final part, let me leave you with this. Memory is not something that disappears overnight. It fades because we stop feeding it. physically, mentally, and emotionally. But when you begin to nourish your brain with the right foods, thoughts, and rest, you can rebuild it, no matter your age. In the next section, I'll show you how to put all of this together, how to visualize your future self living with a clear, focused mind again, and how to take the next step to truly recover the memory you had when you were 20. Take a moment and imagine this. You wake up in the morning feeling mentally clear, calm, and sharp. You remember what you were about to do before walking into a room. You recall people's names instantly. You tell stories from years ago with vivid detail and confidence. The fog that once clouded your thoughts is gone. You feel focused, alive, and perhaps for the first time in years, fully yourself again. That future isn't a fantasy. It's the natural state your brain is designed to be in when it's given what it truly needs. The beautiful thing about the brain is its neuroplasticity, its ability to repair and rewire itself at any age. Even if you've experienced forgetfulness, short-term memory loss, or brain fog for years, your brain can build new pathways and regenerate connections, especially when you reduce inflammation, feed it the right nutrients, and create the right environment for healing. Let's summarize what we've talked about so far, because understanding these key points is the first step to transformation. First, we discovered that inflammation caused by stress, toxins, and poor diet silently attacks your neurons, leading to memory loss and brain fog. But anti-inflammatory foods like blueberries, salmon, turmeric, and leafy greens can start reversing that process. Second, we learned how circulation is the lifeline of memory. Regular movement and exercise don't just strengthen your body, they oxygenate your brain, increasing focus and recall. Even a 15-minute walk can boost clarity. Third, we saw that sleep is your brain's nightly cleansing system. Without it, toxins build up and cloud your thoughts. Quality sleep is one of the most powerful dementia treatments nature offers, and it's completely free. Fourth, we uncovered how toxins and stress can create chemical chaos in your brain. Detoxifying your environment and managing your stress are as important as taking vitamins. Emotional balance is brain balance. Fifth, we discussed the critical role of hormones and neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, dopamine, and insulin. Balanced brain chemistry keeps your neurons communicating smoothly. By stabilizing blood sugar, eating nutrient-dense foods, and staying hydrated, you're already helping your brain perform at its peak. And finally, we explored how mental overload and lack of stillness can fragment your memory. By giving your mind moments of silence, you allow your hippocampus to recover and store memories again. When you put all of this together, you begin to realize that memory loss isn't just something that happens to you. It's something your body has been trying to warn you about. Every sign of dementia, every instance of brain fog, every moment of confusion is your brain whispering, "Help me." And the best part, you can help it. The reason I share all of this is because I've seen people in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s who thought their best years were behind them. And yet, within weeks of following simple natural principles, they started thinking clearer, remembering faster, and feeling more confident. It's not magic, it's biology working the way it's meant to. Now, I want you to imagine the next few years of your life if you continue on this path. You'll no longer fear Alzheimer's disease or dementia the way you once did, because you'll understand that prevention starts today with the choices you make each day. You'll start reading again without losing focus. You'll recall old memories, stories, names, details, and feel that spark of youth come alive again in your mind. You'll feel safer in your own thoughts, more connected to the people you love, and more at peace with yourself. No more frustration when you forget why you walked into the kitchen. No more embarrassment when you can't recall someone's name. No more brain fog from lack of sleep or fatigue. Instead, you'll feel clarity, mental lightness, and emotional calm. That's the life you can start creating tonight. And to help you take that next step, I've left a special video for you right below in the description and in the first pinned comment, where I'll show you how to recover the memory you had at 20 years old with a simple 7-second ritual you can do from home. Thousands of people have already used it to clear brain fog instantly and start restoring their memory naturally. If this video has helped you understand your brain better, I'd love to invite you to be part of our community. Hit the subscribe button, activate the notification bell, and join us on this journey towards sharper thinking and lifelong memory health. Leave a comment below sharing which part of today's video resonated with you the most, whether it was learning about inflammation, stress, or sleep, and let me know what you're going to start changing today. And if you know someone who's struggling with forgetfulness, dementia, or brain fog symptoms, please share this video with them. Sometimes one piece of information can change an entire life. Finally, don't stop here. I'm going to leave another video right here on the screen that dives even deeper into how to protect your brain from aging and memory loss. Watch that next and keep learning how to reclaim the clarity, focus, and memory you deserve. Because no matter your age, your brain is capable of healing. And it all begins with one small step, or maybe just one simple 7-second ritual that you can start tonight.